What's up, y'all? It's Calvin here, coming back with week 5 of college football. And to jump right into it, we're going to start with Arkansas and Georgia. I expected Georgia to win, but I didn't expect them to do Arkansas that bad. But they did. And they're further proving why they're the best team in the nation, in my opinion. And I think Bama is a distant second, you know what I'm saying, to be honest with you, because we have some things we need to shore up. But at any rate, we'll get to that later. But for now, we're going to move on to Tennessee versus Missouri. And I didn't expect Tennessee's offense to explode like that, but their defense played well because the Tigers have a really good offense. It's just their defense is terrible. They're like one of the worst in all of college football by the numbers. And but still, they did pretty good by giving them boys only 24 points. And at that point, it was like garbage time for Tennessee. Like, they jumped all over these dudes, man. So, very good to see, you know what I'm saying? A healthy SEC East looks like it is going to be shaping up within the next 4 or 5 years, man. Things are heading in the right direction because they actually switched quarterbacks. They started out the season with a Michigan transfer. His name's like Devin Miles or something like that. Don't exactly know his name, but he got replaced by a guy named Hooker, who transferred from Vatech, and he has got that offense rolling, man. So hopefully they stick with that situation and not do like Notre Dame, going back to Jack Cohn and then trying to figure it out when they can clearly see who's the better quarterback. Hopefully they stick with that to get the ball rolling with them guys, man, so that way we can have a strong volunteer team, man, you know what I'm saying, and it just makes the SEC better. All right, so anyways, moving on to Auburn and LSU, and this is what I was telling you guys, Auburn's never out of a game, but at the same token, LSU, they have admitted openly that they don't have any confidence in their run game, and like this is widely known knowledge all across college football amongst coaches, and that is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And it isn't like these running backs that they have are trash. They just don't have any confidence in it. And it doesn't make any sense, and they're not going to beat anybody worth beating with that mentality. And that's how Auburn was able to shut these guys out in the fourth quarter. And, so hopefully they rectify that problem because, I mean, we are going to make finger paint out of these fools if they just throw away the run game. Man. So, anyways, moving on to Oregon versus Stanford. I've been said that Oregon is not on the level. I do not respect the squad as a national title contender, you know what I'm saying, at all. And now Stanford let everybody else know that. And I cannot believe that these guys are ranked number 3. You know what I'm saying? They've got a good team, but they ain't nowhere near that good. Like Coastal Carolina or Cincinnati deserves that spot. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm telling you, watch these guys play, man. They're not missing no tackles. They execute on offense. You know what I mean? They are solid, good ball clubs, and they are winning, beating people. You know what I'm saying? So, and I thought that meant something, you know? So, but moving on to Cincinnati, speaking of the devil, and Notre Dame. And I told you guys about Notre Dame with Jack Cohn, and, like, they're having this, controversy or whatever, like they're in some kind of turmoil, I guess, behind what quarterback they're going to choose. But they need to stick with Pine, you know what I'm saying? He was clearly the best quarterback and option that they have. But Cincinnati is the better team, you know what I'm saying? And I hope people start respecting these guys, man, and give them the rank that they deserve. Give Coastal Carolina the rank that they deserve, man. These guys are really good. All right, and I feel like they deserve the shot against the Bamas and so on and so forth, man. Let me see. Moving on to Kentucky and Florida. I told you guys about Kentucky, man, but I didn't expect stuff like this to happen quite this soon. But it is. I do not think they're going to beat Georgia this year at all. I think Georgia's probably going to maul them boys this year. But I'm telling you, next couple of years, the SEC East is going to have a problem. Tennessee is getting better. Well, looks to be getting better because that has happened before in recent years. But Kentucky is the real deal. These boys got a solid squad, man. They are very, very raunchy on defense, and they have a feisty running game, even though Rodriguez, the running back, I believe he's number 24, he was fumbling the ball and things of that nature, but they put him on the bench, and he got some get right. And with that Florida game, he protected the ball, and, they were able to get it done down the stretch running the football, you know what I'm saying, and passing when they needed to. So all you recruits out there, man, that's coming out of Kentucky, man, it's got these 5 stars on you, man. You might want to look at the Wildcats, man. Them boys got something going. I'm telling you, something's brewing out there. You might want to stay home. All right, moving on to Pittsburgh versus Georgia Tech. These guys are scoring a lot of points, man. Pittsburgh, they actually beat Tennessee, but I'm just going to run down their point tallies so far this season. The first game, they scored 51 points and won that game. The next game versus Tennessee, they scored 44. And then they lost the next week. I can't remember who they lost to. I think it was like Western Michigan or somebody, but they scored 41 in a loss. And then the next week, they scored 77 against New Hampshire. And then this past week, week 5, they put 52 up on Georgia Tech. And so they've got a quarterback named Kenny Pickett, and he is slinging stuff all over the place and really, really getting it done. And you might possibly see this guy getting the Heisman. So you might want to get to know this name if you haven't been paying attention to him, because he's making some serious noise, man. And with that loss not being a conference loss, they look like the favorite to win the ACC. But, you know, they've got some tougher defenses to go up against, because even though Clemson may not be having the year that we are used to seeing them in recent years, they have a really, really good defense. And we're going to see where they stand. But so far, Pittsburgh looking good, win or lose, you know what I'm saying? They are putting up a fight, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with them. All right, so moving on to Iowa and Maryland. Man, I tried to watch this game, but I had to turn it off because it was just getting bad, man. Tylua, man, he played a terrible game, and I see why he transferred from Alabama, because he must have did this a couple of times in practice and, you know, got the message that he was not going to be starting anytime soon doing some mess like that, because he threw like 4 picks, and if I'm not mistaken, it was like in the first half or something like that. He played a really, really bad game, man. So hopefully they can tighten that stuff up, because they started out the season pretty good, man, and then they just went to Iowa and just boo-booed all over the place. So, you know, shout out to Iowa for getting the win, but I don't really think, you know, this has much to do with Iowa being that good. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, moving on to Michigan and Wisconsin. I fully expected Michigan to win this game, you know what I'm saying? But once again, I think that they actually have a really, really solid team this year. It'll be interesting to see what they're able to do against teams like Iowa and Ohio State, because they looked really good against Rutgers. I didn't expect them to beat them that bad, but they did. They just walked them like a dog. So it looks like they got things clicking. Didn't switch out the quarterback or nothing like that. They just got it going. So it looks like the Big Ten has a problem again. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. So anyways, speaking of Ohio State, Rutgers, we already covered that. So moving on to Cal and Washington State. And the main reason that I'm talking about this game is because of Cal, man. Like, they are really, really bad this year. And I'm not used to seeing, like, just terrible Cal teams. Like, they usually have, you know, at least average teams. And they always usually have a decent defense. But all of that seems to be gone. I haven't seen them play this year. But just checking out the box score, these guys are terrible. Like, coach get fired mid-season type terrible. So it'll be interesting to see how that situation works out, because they got beat by a bad Washington State team. All right, and moving on to Arizona State, UCLA. Fully expected this to happen, but didn't expect the explosion of points that the Sun Devils scored. But the thing about them, like Herm Edwards, he's just really conservative, very close to the vest, very careful. You know what I'm saying? But, like, man, that defense is good. You know, I'm not saying like a national championship defense, but if you like football, watch the Sun Devils play football, man. Like, they got a solid defense on them. But anyways, moving on to Hawaii, Fresno State. This was an upset to me. I did not expect Hawaii to get the win here, because Fresno State has been balling lately. But I think their quarterback got hurt or something like that. So anyways, they weren't able to get the win. So shout out to Hawaii for that, because that was a feat, because them boys are balling, man, like straight up. They are balling out there in Fresno. And now moving on to Bama and Ole Miss. I was nervous during this game until we got a 3-touchdown lead. Once we hit that good old 21-0, that's when I kind of calmed down, because I knew if we keep giving the ball to Ole Miss's offense, they're going to end up scoring. And a lot of the points that they were scoring, our first teamers, they were in there. And we just not tackling well. Like, we get there just fine, but it's just we ain't tackling well. And if I'm looking at Coastal Carolina, I'm looking at Cincinnati, and I'm looking at Georgia, like they ain't missing tackles like us. You know what I'm saying? So we need to tighten that up if we want to be able to compete with these teams, man. Like definitely, because what we're doing is not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It isn't gonna work. So need to clean that up. And also Bryce Young, he threw a pick, you know what I'm saying, and like forced a pass. We gotta cut that out, man, and maintain possession of the ball, and you know what I mean, either punt or kick field goals if we can't get a touchdown. All right. So you know, but overall we came out, you know what I'm saying, swinging hard, you know what I mean, and really stomped it down, you know what I mean, that these boys wasn't gonna win this game. So that was very, very refreshing to see. But we gonna have to get that for 4 quarters to beat this Georgia squad, man. These boys are different than anybody else. Like the past seasons with Stetson Bennett, he was not very good. He got a whole lot better, and he is making some things happen, man. And JT Daniels, he might as well hang it up, man. You know what I'm saying? He might as well take his time, get healthy, and just work out and get ready for the pros. Because Stetson Bennett's got this for real, for real. And if we don't get it together, they are going to stomp us. You know, so anyways, feel free to leave your comments, you know what I'm saying? Make your videos and all that stuff like that. This is the Space Ghost Sport Rant Lounge, you know what I'm saying? NFL, hockey, however it goes down. Say what you got to say about your squad. Cuss your coach out. Whatever it is, man. Do your thing. This is Pod Roast.
Here come the hot stepper. Here come the spiritual warrior. Excuse me, good people. I still love you like that. Hey.